Welcome to Let's Talk Jets Radio.
Mr. Primetime.
It's like we never left. Cheers. Welcome back.
What's up? You know what's funny is that we did our first collab tonight. We did our first collab with a different channel, a video collab. I go on Turn on the Jets every once in a while with Steven and those guys, and they're super cool. But I did a collab with Matt O'Leary, right?
Oh, nice.
He supported my fundraiser. He's a super cool guy. We met him at the tailgate, really cool guy. And so I'm like, let's talk Jets, see what happens. So when we started, I played our intro. He probably doesn't know anything about our channel. He probably doesn't know none of the shit we do. Yeah. And I'm watching the intro. And I'm watching his face down there, like looking at it. He's probably like, "What in the hell am I getting myself into?"
Nice not to be the outcast, right? Finally starting to collab with some other channels.
I mean, a couple of them reached out. I'm gonna do another one on Friday. I'm not gonna tell anybody who it is yet, but I'm gonna do one on Friday too. A couple people have reached out, but the problem we have is we all do it at the same time. Like they're on right now. Everybody's 8 o'clock, 8:30. Everybody's schedule's the same. We're just busy. Like you have baseball, I have all my other shit. So it's hard to find time. But it was super cool talking to him. But it was so funny because like it was actually like an intelligent football conversation, no cursing. And I was like,
what's that?
But the intro was so funny. I was just watching his expression. He's probably like, holy shit, like what is this? Like what are they doing? So thank you to him. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? I know we're officially YouTubers now. We did our first collab. You wanna collab with Panda? We can't collab with Panda because he went against us. He branched out against us, and he's not on our list.
Yeah, if you start out on here and then you start your own thing, yeah, can't collab that way.
What's up in New Hampshire? Yep, Jose. I mean, we definitely have some. We had some sour grapes last week. Hopefully that we're on the brighter pastures. But if he starts with me, I'll go back at him. Let's see what we got here. There's a very real chance the Jets trade Becton to Minnesota for Hunter and then draft Charles across at 4. I don't see that happening. I mean, the Vikings can't afford Hunter. They're probably going to cut him at this point, aren't they? They just signed Darius Smith.
Exactly. So then, it's hard to see Becton going for Hunter.
I don't think they're trading Becton, dude. I mean, the Jets right now are saying, you know what? Let's let him come back and see what he brings.
If you get your tackle at 4, maybe. But even then, like get through training camp, make sure everybody's healthy. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, so we got Darren, our good friend, who could be a new Jets fan. It's an A for me for Joe Douglas so far. He's doing good work. He has still some holes to fill, but definitely an encouraging start for sure. What else we got here? Did I add? I think I posted the link, right? I did.
Yeah,
I didn't. No, my bad. So let's see. We got what's up, balls, and that's the other thing too. It's like when you got to explain like how our community is always fun. I'm like, yeah, we talked to Robert Sala, we talked to Snoopy, we talked to Balls, we talked to Rose. And we got all kinds of different people here.
Entire crew.
So what's up, everybody? The link is in there. We're always outcasts, man. Nobody likes us. We're happy that way.
We're always gonna be outcasts. I embrace that.
Where is the wide receiver, guys? That's a good question. Probably the draft. I'm thinking at this
better
point.
Be the draft.
Yeah. Yeah. Matt was cool, man. Super cool guy. Looking forward to talking to him again. Tailgating with him. What else we got here? We'll go through some of your things. I'm not gonna be on the NFL Network. What's up, Brian? Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Yeah, the Armstead to the Dolphins. I think that was kind of anticipated. I'm surprised the Saints didn't keep him, but. Whatever.
And they got Connor Williams also, right?
Yeah, they're doing some upgrades. But the other thing too is it's going to come down to what does Tua do, man? Like the Dolphins, like he's at a make or break point in his career at this point, isn't he? Like he's got to at least another coach is supposed to be like an offensive guru, is going to give him a running game and everything else, but he's definitely got to step it up.
Yeah, going into year 3, got plenty of help now. No excuses.
Yep, no excuses for him. You got Baker Mayfield, who's just a man without a team at this point. He's on the Browns, who don't want him, and I guess his only option, what is going to be Seattle at this point? Like I don't know what else
Seattle, Carolina.
Yep.
See what some teams do in the draft too. Steelers, Giants. I know who is it? Willis. They said had a really good pro day today.
Oh, you didn't see all the highlights, man. He made the Zach.
I got home like 10 minutes ago.
Oh yeah, he made the Zach Wilson throw. Everybody's like, oh, he's great. And the one guy's like, maybe the Lions take him at 2. I'm like, go for it, do it.
I'd love that.
Like any quarterback taking off, having a great pro day, and having everybody like fall in love with him, make it happen. That'd be perfect. So I'm all for that. Let's see, got more. John, we'll definitely, if anybody has, I mean, we'll just start doing them. We just got to find time, man. That's the only thing. And I've been talking to Matt for a while, and he was real supportive of my fundraisers. I definitely want to help him out a little bit and just get him on and talk to him a little bit. So when do we wage war against Dolphins YouTubers? We don't do that, man. We're a friendly YouTuber. We don't do that kind of stuff.
Bills fans like us.
And then we got Afram saying, hello, Jet fans. Is Afram going to come back with updated salary cap information, or are we going to have to just do it by ourselves again?
He better. Because even the over the cap's not updated right now with like a lot of the contracts.
But like Samini's releasing a lot of information, man. So the contract information is out there. So if Afram's being lazy, not getting updated stuff here, we may have to find somebody else. I mean, we have to have high standards here.
There were a few that were made official today, so he should have the updated numbers.
Right. What's up? Yeah, I think the whole Becton thing, I think he's definitely going to get a chance. We're going to go to our good friend in Australia. What's up, man?
Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
What's up, Darren?
You're looking sharp there, man. The beard's looking tight. You're looking good.
Thanks, mate. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you sound good.
Yep, you're good.
What a time to be alive as a
And he's
frozen. What a way to start the show.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. And he's gone.
That was quick.
Let's see. All right. That was good. That's a way to start. What do you guys think about Jets taking London at 4? You know what I think, Snoopy? I'm glad you asked this question. What I think is, at this point, I think people are releasing mock drafts that are complete horseshit to get reactions, retweets, and Twitter impressions. Everybody wants to get their Twitter impressions up so they can go to a marketing company and say, I get 3 million impressions a month. But meanwhile, half their stuff is horseshit. It's like clickbait, but tweets.
Well, not just that, but if you do 15 different mock drafts, once the draft is actually over, you could have something to go back to and say, see, I predicted that the Jets were going to take.
I hate that. Like, that's not happening at 4. It's not. 10, I think
10 is where it's taking receiver.
Yeah, and I think 10, you could have a realistic chance to get your choice of maybe one of your top guys. I think they're all going to still be there. So, But all right, we're going to go part 2.
You good now? What time to be alive? You want to finish that?
Yeah, I think I said before I'd give Joe an A so far.
Wait, listen. I love that we'll talk Jets, but we got to talk. What are you doing with Baker Mayfield, man?
I don't.
He's a year removed from a good season. It's crazy.
It wasn't even really a good season if you watched it.
2 years ago?
There were a lot. Yeah, it wasn't. No. Yeah. The same issues that he had, last year that were further exposed by his injury he had the year before. He just had, like at the start of last season, I said I started off my Browns thing with 8-8, and then if they won the 50-50 games, they could win 12-13 games. The year before, they won like 6 of those 50-50 games, which put them at 11. But there were a lot of games that could have gone either way, where the Browns could have missed the playoffs, and there would have been no talk about extending him. And there would, anyway, but that's all moot now because he's not the quarterback of the team. The new quarterback of the team, I don't even know what to think about that, honestly. Over the last sort of 4 days, I've gone through sort of every emotion you could go through about it, and I sort of just makes me feel a little bit dirty.
Yep.
And sport for me is entertainment, and the only time I like feeling dirty is in the evenings.
No, it's interesting because the whole Mayfield thing, it's like now teams know that you guys got to get rid of him. So the compensation is going to be nowhere near what you want it to be. And the Deshaun Watson thing, it's like it just comes off real shady, man, especially the way they put the contract together where it's like he's only making $1 million this year, which is just like, listen, desperate times, desperate measures. You're getting a top 5, top 6 quarterback. The guaranteed money is going to change the landscape of football because now everybody's going to want a fully guaranteed contract. It changed so many things. And for most situations, as a fan, you'd be excited as shit. Like, this is awesome. We got Deshaun Watson. But the way it went down is just like, man, it gives you like that. I'm sure a year from now, nobody's going to care. But right now, it just feels kind of funky.
The thing with it for me though is that like the NFL are really responsible for this.
Yep.
Because a very similar thing occurred in the football that I watched down here in Australia. And our league suspended the guy until all his court cases were done and dusted and finished.
Yep.
And it came to a sort of like a similar end to what Watson's case came to an end, where he wasn't found guilty in a legal sense, but there was still a lot of smut around the whole incident that his presence on the field is just makes everybody uncomfortable. And I think that the NFL should have taken responsibility in the situation and removed, because the teams are going to do what the teams do.
Yep.
But I think that the NFL has a responsibility to protect the teams from themselves and then protect the stakeholders of the game, which are the fans, the sponsors. And I know I'm coming across as holier than thou, but
no, but even last year, dude, he sat up the entire year and got paid for it. There was no punishment last year. He just didn't play. He got paid for everything.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not perfect. I've made, errors of judgment in my life, but there are levels to those errors of judgment. And I think the league completely usurped their responsibility. The Browns are sort of like, I don't know, Tyson, you might be right in 12, 18 months if the Browns are winning, and is everybody going to forget?
Yep.
I don't know. And you know what the thing for me was is like, I was sort of like, as I said before, ruminating between how I felt left and right. And then I just went, you know what? I went to listen to a couple of podcasts from Browns podcasts that are run by women who usually have pretty good takes on situations about the Browns. And I just listened to how they felt about it. And then after listening to that podcast, I sort of came away from it with a completely different sort of attitude around the situation, because I listened to like how the women felt about it, and it just makes me feel grubby, man. And I don't know if I can, I'm not going to say I'm going to come on the Jets bandwagon, because I can't do that.
Come on, man.
Just be
God damn it.
Rude, but maybe, in all seriousness, maybe I just don't watch the Browns and I don't watch the NFL anymore. That's where I'm sort of on. I'll always watch this show, of course, because this is the best thing on TV.
So the Jets made a lot of good moves, I think. You said it too. Like, you give Joe Douglas, a A or whatever it is. But to me, I guess the biggest question mark now is, what do they do at wide receiver? They got to get one. Tyrone's been pretty staunch where he doesn't want to get a guy at 10. Primetime and both you probably should go at number 10, because you're probably gonna get your pick of the lot, or maybe not the best one. Maybe one goes before that, but you're probably gonna get a really good chance at one of your highest guys on your board. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I think so. The reason that I gave him an A is because he hasn't really reached yet. Now, the middle class is often overlooked in the NFL, and it's probably the prime reason why you have sustained success in the league is how you handle the middle class, whether it be contracts, how you deal with it. And the big hitters are all sort of, the big hitter players I'm sort of talking about here are all sort of moving towards these 1-2 year contracts where they get a lot of money up front so that they have the mobility, because they all want to chase rings, right? I think the nature of players staying with teams long term is sort of gone in the NFL.
Yeah.
You look at Von Miller, for example, like pinch hitting, running for chips. So the reason I like what Joe D's doing is because he's building that middle class, and that's going to give the Jets the sustained success. Yes, everybody wants to land that splash free agent, etc. But I think the Jets are sort of 1 to 2 years away from landing that splash free agent, because I think there's still that sort of, we want to wait and see with the Jets. We want to wait and see how Salah plays out. We want to wait and see how Zach plays out. I heard, Primetime saying the other day he wants to sack Salah if he don't do good this year. So if he's going to go through another coach.
I think what it is just
your question.
Yeah, but the thing is too is like, you're making a really good point. I think the Jets' problem hasn't been the superstars, is they've lacked depth. Like, the middle and bottom of the roster it was just bad, man. Like, you're signing guys off the street that aren't very good. Like, that's where all your bad drafting comes in, your bad free agency signings. So now, not only is Joe Douglas trying to find elite playmakers, he's trying to find solid guys that can hold the fort just while these young players figure it all out. So that's why all these signings make a lot of sense. And then it's like, you're not giving these. And I agree with the other thing too, is I think this year is a good stepping stone year. But then next year, hopefully with success this year, you can go out and get that prime time. You're going to get a prime time star who's actually going to want to come here. Because if the Jets win 8 or 9 games or 7, 8 games, that means Zach Wilson's playing well. that means, okay, we are now trajectory is up. We're a winning team. We're going to be, we can sell a vision to somebody then. And then you could sign a monumental guy and not worry about, you can actually compete and get that guy. I mean, what do you think, Kevin?
Well, that's kind of the problem I have, like with the wait and see approach with Wilson, where it's just like, I want to give him the best chance this year. I don't want him to be throwing to mediocre receivers in year 2. Give him the best option possible. And I'm fine taking the approach with, taking a pick at pick 10, going receiver there. I think there's a good chance they might actually get the best available receiver there. But at the same time, you kind of lock yourself, and this is what we were saying last night, you kind of lock yourself into that receiver at pick 10 now because it's such a need. Whereas if you've got somebody like Cooper or Robert Woods, you have that to fall back on where you can take best player available if it's at another spot and then look at receiver with one of those 2 second-round picks.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that to answer your question before is I don't think the Jets need to reach for wide receiver now. I think there's enough talent in the draft that's probably going to be a cheaper option and allow you to develop and find a wide.
Nope. And the way he goes.
All right. 0 for 2.
What the hell? What else going on around here?
Ooh.
What the hell?
The Jets' own experience in the draft of drafting a wide receiver over the last 2 years where one sort of looked like he's okay, the other one's on the outer with the team. So I don't think they should reach. I think they should draft a wide receiver. I agree with Primetime's take there. Tyron, not so much, but, we get that. Anyway, boys, I'm having trouble with the internet here, so I'm going to get off. Let people who know what they're talking about have a chat. It's good to talk to you as always.
You look great, man. Thanks for calling in.
Deuces.
Good talking to you, man. Have a good night.
It's great, man. He looks all healthy and tan. It
cleaned up.
Looks good. So go to the comments real quick here. So we got, let's see. Oh, and by the way, just for Nick, I know who's listening. Dude, I texted you 3 times. You didn't respond back. I'm blocking your ass, dude. We're not friends anymore. Just so you know. I'm done with Nick. Completely done with him.
3 texts?
3 texts, dude. That's it. Just trying to figure out we're supposed to hang out on Saturday, hang out, drink some beers. Dude, how hard is it? Everybody is glued to their phones. Everybody. Social media. We live on these things. At some point in the day, like, oh, I got a text. I got to answer it.
He just swiped you left, probably.
He's done. Yeah, he did. Now I'm blocking him.
Don't
even bother. Don't even bother text me, Nick. Don't even try it. Don't call. So, what's up, Bubs? How's it got? Everybody doing here? Yeah, the Dolphins are making moves. They got Armstead, but it's kind of gone down to the quarterback.
What was the contract? I just saw they signed him. I didn't see the contract.
Big, man.
I assume it was pretty big.
Yeah, it is big money. Let's see. What do you think the big move Joe Douglas is planning? I thought it was going to be Ardarius Smith, so I was wrong there. He got the big money at the Vikings, but now Daniel Hunter. I mean, Hunter could be available. I don't know. Other than that, who else is available? Maybe a trade for somebody.
I don't think it's going to be Metcalf like people are saying. Maybe Lockett becomes available. We were talking about Chenault last night. I think that could be an option for, maybe like a 3rd or 4th round pick.
Yep. Trevor, I'll come to Canada, man. I'll go to Canada and drink beers with you. I want to go up there anyway. So let's see what we got here. So we were going to go to, Primetime, do we bring on Dan? He looks like he's driving. How are you driving and calling in, man?
I have to, man. I can't miss my favorite show,
You're gonna let you get pulled over live.
So now,
damn it, you're damn right.
So Dan, are you ready for Drake London at 4? Is that what you're telling me?
My man, you read my mind. If that son of a bitch, this guru, had got the 2nd best wide receiver at 4, please don't duck your head down when I say Linderbaum at 4. Come on now.
So you'd be okay with what, London at 4 and then Linderbaum at 10?
No, he says London at 4 is ridiculous.
Oh, okay.
I don't think Drake London at 4. I'd rather if you give me the choice between London and Linderbaum at 4, give me Linderbaum. That's granted if the top pass rushers are gone. Like, that's where I'm basing this off of. But I don't understand getting Evan Neal and Iquanu at 4. I don't understand that unless they don't trust Becton. They didn't like what Fant did. That's what I don't understand with the whole Iquanu, aspect of this, of selecting him at 4. So if you're going to go offensive line at 4, why not get Linderbaum? But that's, I guess, for another day,
Well, I guess because there are questions about Becton. I think just based on the way that Saleh was talking at the end of the year, there's clearly some concerns about him. But even Fant, they like him, but he's also only signed for another year. So I know they're trying to negotiate an extension, but if you don't get that done, he's also 30 years old. I think you got to take that into consideration too.
Yes. But I mean, like the offensive linemen, even at 30, they can go a long way. Look at Whitworth. Look at Trent Williams. Like you can go to 35, 36, you know?
Well, I saw the one mock draft. They had Linderbaum going at 29 or something like that, or 28, like the late first round.
Well, you know, that's all hearsay. I mean, I'm not going. In all honesty, I wouldn't go with Linderbaum at 4. You need to get yourself a pass rusher or Hamilton at 4. Like I've made peace with that. Like that's no problem. Hamilton is a generational safety, a free safety. That's exactly what would complete our secondary. But we need a pass rusher. Like I don't understand that. Like I was watching games, you know, just highlights and whatever for the past 3 years. We're blown out in the third quarter. Like the game's over. That's why it felt so good beating the Bengals, beating the Titans. We have that capability. You know, that's why I can't rule the Jets out with being competitive this year. You know what I mean? Like Joe Douglas knows the opponents and how good the AFC is going to be. That's why he's spending the money. The way how he knocked the draft like right out of the park, just like we did last year. I could see the Jets winning another 5 more games this year.
There you go. Dan, well, first of all, thank you for driving, man, but you're cutting in and out. But I agree with you about pass rusher, man. That's going to be a priority for sure. It's got to be. So thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
All right, man. Later.
Have a good night.
I was getting nervous. I didn't want to see anything happen to him when he's trying to drive and get all fired up and stuff. But
we're listen, 0 for 2 on connection too.
Yeah, I know. I'm with him on pass rusher though, man. You look at the AFC where it is right now. It's quarterback. Every offense is be loaded, but you got to be able to get after the quarterback and protect your quarterback. And right now, the Jets have not been successful doing that. So it's obviously Carl Lawson coming back could be enormous. That's like a free agent addition if you want to call it that. John Franklin Myers inside could be better. Quentin Williams, but another speed guy off the edge, dude, would do just. If you have guys coming from both sides, collapsing the pocket, then you have like Myers and Williams up the middle, then you have a defense. Then you can actually shut guys down. So
I think Lawson could be huge if he's healthy, but again, to depend on him to be that guy. I mean, if you can get somebody at 4, you have 2 bookends with Quinnen in the middle, throw Franklin Myers in the middle too. Those are 4 legitimate rushers that you got coming at you. So
we got I saw that hands on 10 and 2. Dan he was styling while he was driving, getting all fired up. Let's talk bad internet connections. We got that. Think of it this way. Why would the Jets trust Becton? I think the Jets are giving Becton this offseason to prove himself. Come in great shape, show the work ethic, show the mind, your mind is right. Come in camp and dominate. They're giving him the chance. This is his chance.
Yeah, and he deserves that.
Yep. His injury last year was a freak injury.
Yeah. He deserves that chance.
Let's see what we got here. Hamilton at 4.
Carl Lawson at 10. Oof.
I don't like that one, but yeah.
About that.
Thoughts on drafting Hamilton and converting him to a weak side linebacker? I wouldn't do that, man. I'd use him in so many different roles. He could play corner, safety. He could do all kinds of stuff, man. I wouldn't pigeonhole him here anywhere.
You trust him at corner?
Absolutely. I mean, not all the time. He could play there, dude. He can do all kinds of stuff, man. All right. We're gonna go
That's right,
to
he's a unicorn. I forgot.
That's right. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? He is, man. That we're gonna bring on Matt. What's up, Matt?
What's happening, guys? How you doing on this fine Tuesday?
We're doing great. Trusting the
like
process.
Your headline, yeah. It's 93?
Yeah, it's not like 68 like a lot of people, but I got my battle scars. Don't worry.
So what are your thoughts on free agency, man?
So to be honest, I feel much better at the end of this first week than I did at the end of last year. So I think there is tangible improvement. So I kind of want to start with the Mekhi Becton thing. I think the idea of trading him is openly admitting failure if you're Joe Douglas, saying that I whiffed completely. And the 1-2 punch of him and Mims, if they're both gone, that draft is like, to me, that's a fireable offense. If you just get an F like that on your first draft, you're really setting the clock back exponentially. So I think they're stuck with keeping him.
Yeah, I agree to an extent, but at the same time, I think that what we've heard over the last year is that, that was all Adam Gase, him drafting players that would fit Adam Gase's system. So I think for the most part, that draft is going to become a wash. Even that free agent class, they don't really have anybody left from that. So I think he's going to get a pass for that. And as long as last year is good, Zach Wilson continues to trend in the right direction, and they keep adding pieces this year, I don't think we're going to care about that first draft.
Yeah, this is the make or break because he's batting 50-50, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. And even with free agency too, man, it's just like his last year's free agency class. I mean, he's had a couple hits, but a lot of them have been misses, man. A lot of guys we want cut are guys that he signed. So
well, I think far and away the tight ends are the biggest, I would say, success of what he's had as far as getting Zach dependable guys that are not just blockers, they're not just pass catchers, they're good hybrids. You know, they're not Travis Kelce, they're not George Kittle, but they get the job done, especially in short down yardage and moving the sticks. So that to me fits with this West Coast system that LaFleur's going to run.
Well, yeah, they're gonna be a safety valve, man. He could check down to them. They're big enough they can be a mismatch with safeties and linebackers. They're good red zone targets. I mean, last time, a lot of times we were like, you're within like the 10-yard line. You could do fade passes. They're huge targets, man. So like that helps Zach out so much, and it opens up things for Elijah Moore. And, like you said, and you could also use them as a fullback if you want, kind of like a blocking role and help the running game. They have a lot of versatility now in the offense.
Yeah. So looking at the draft, I think with the fourth entirely dependent, if you ask me, about if Thibodeau and Hutchinson go in the top 3. I think if either one of them falls to you at 4, if they're both gone, I think Hamilton's not a bad, like there's no one I'm unopposed to at 4 with the exception of that group and say, I'm more comfortable taking him at 10 than I would be at 4. But it's
Who is that? You broke up for a sec.
Yeah. I think you're saying Hamilton, right?
Oh, no worries. I was gonna say I'm not crazy about drafting a receiver at 4.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yep.
I think safety and corner and pass rusher are more, you have a better chance of at 4 than you would further down the line, and then 10 is interesting. There's, to me, no matter what, just because of who they've signed, rather who they haven't signed, if you ask me.
Is it just mine or is
it Wilson?
I think Matt, I think your connect keeps breaking up, man. I'm sorry, dude. We getting like every 4th word.
No worries. I was just saying that at 10, take a receiver. That's my mantra.
Yeah.
I got it, man.
I can forget.
Good, you're good. You're good.
And he's frozen again.
We're 3 for 3, man.
Is it us? Like, what's going on tonight? Holy shit.
It's usually us. We're cursed for sure, man. This is it.
What is happening tonight?
I don't know what's going on, man. I mean, oh, man. Here's Luke, a couple questions real quick. Tyson at prime time, out of 10, how high is cornerback on your priority list?
As far as it being a need to get a legit number 1 guy, probably a 9. As far as this year needing to get it, I'd say like a 6 or a 7.
I mean, not the first round. I mean, I could see going in the first round. I'm still going pass rusher, receiver. If you want to go second round, corner, I think getting DJ Reed helps a lot, man. That's a nice piece. And I actually like Eccles and Carter, so I'm probably higher on them than most people are. And then you have, Whitehead as a safety. I mean, I don't think it's a nice to have, but I think pass rusher and edge and a receiver is more important in the first round.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right. Do we want to continue our bad luck?
I'm scared now.
I know. So yeah, I like DJ Reed as well. We talked about this last night a little bit about Elijah Moore. It's like a lot of people forget that Elijah Moore was supposed to be the breakout star last year. So now year 2 of him, big things could come from him.
Yep.
So that could be a welcome addition as long as these guys can all stay healthy. We're gonna go to John in Atlanta. What's up, John?
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
How's everybody doing tonight?
How's work?
Oh man, work is work. Just making money to pay bills.
There you go.
You and me both, man.
Hopefully, my connection is better than everybody else's.
So far, you're good, man. Shit.
So, free agency. I love what Douglas didn't break the bank on nobody. Great contracts, didn't overspend like I said last week. Draft, I'm flip-flopping back and forth. I want Hamilton, I don't. I want an edge at 4. Wide receiver, 10, go wide receiver.
So wait, hold on. I'm not gonna let you flow past that. So where do you float back and forth with Hamilton? What's the pros and what's the cons?
I like Hamilton. I just think taking safety at 4, is that really too high? So then I go maybe defensive end, But then, do I really want Thibodeau? Because I think he gives you the same thing Lawson gives you. So do you really want two guys on the edge that give you the same things? So wait, hold up, Ponton. So I'm looking more like Jermaine Johnson is kind of like what I want, a guy who can set the edge. Him or that Walker guy out of Georgia. My hope is what I'm looking for. Then at 10 comes whether it's corner, wide receiver, or if Hamilton make it there, then go Hamilton at 4. But then you look into the second round, and then it's like, if you want a wide receiver, you can get quality wide receivers in the second round that you get.
Wait, why do we? I gotta cut you off, man.
Wait,
why are we settling at wide receiver? Why are we getting second best wide receivers? Why don't we give Zach the best receivers possible?
Because you can still get Pickens, you can still get Dotson. That gives you
but I don't want to. But like, just listen to what you're saying. We can still get this. How about I get the best available? Why not get the best?
Yeah, but it all depends on what holes you want to fill.
Receiver.
And if both of those guys are that good, there's no guarantee that somebody else isn't going to jump up to pass the Jets, especially if they don't take a receiver in round 1 and teams know pick 35, Jets are going receiver. I'm going to pass the Jets and go get Pickens or whoever. So there's no guarantee at that point. You got a long wait from 10 to the 30s.
Yeah, it's all a flip of the coin, to be honest with you. So that's why I'm just sitting back. I'm actually enjoying the moment that we're in. Like I said last week, that the Jets finally actually doing something good in free agency, and we got a good GM since Mike Tannenbaum.
It's true. Well, John, thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
No problem. You have a good night.
You too.
You too, man. Have a good night.
Yeah, and Primetime, that's the kind of thing I keep going back with. And this, I guess this is Matt's point. He said the problem is there is no best wide receiver in this class. There's a cluster of very good receivers. While that may be the case, at some point the Jets create a draft board and they rank their best receivers 1 to 10 or 1 to 25 or 1 to 30. If that number 2 receiver on your draft board is there for a reason, he's the second guy you think is there. Yeah. So you take him. Like, it's like, and like, I agree with you, dude. Like, you can't say, you know what, let's just assume that all these guys are going to be here the late second round or third round. I don't want to assume. I want to get what I think what this staff thinks is their second best or first best receiver in the class. Take them. That's it. Yep. Let's remove every excuse possible for the offense.
Unless something drastic changes in the next 5 weeks until the draft, where, they make some kind of trade, they get somebody legitimate, or, they go sign a veteran. And even still, the remaining veterans that are out there, I don't think there's anybody that's part of the long-term plans here. So, yeah, I mean, I think at pick 10, you're locked into a receiver. And like you just said, you do your board. If you can get your number 1 or your number 2 guy,
get him.
That's it. No excuses.
And this isn't true. They said the comment says Tyson doesn't want Drake because he's a Notre Dame fan. Shaking my head. Not true at all. I don't want a receiver at 4. At number 10, whoever they pick at 10, I'm not like this draft expert says, you know what, you got to get Drake London, or you got to get Garrett Wilson, or you got to get whoever they pick at 10, I'm cool with, dude. Like, that means that LaFleur says he's great for my offense. I don't give a shit who it is. Just get one. I don't want to wait for one. That's the most important thing. So I'm flexible, dude. I don't care what school they went to be honest with you. And like the whole Garrett Wilson thing, I get it. I mean, there's very good player, Burks. There's a lot of good players, man. And you're going to see all the pro days and all the things they're doing now. So I'm flexible, man.
Just get somebody.
Yeah.
Especially looking at the depth chart right now. I mean, Crowder's gone already. Keelan Cole, he's still out there, but depth chart's still the same as last year right now.
And I don't like this whole this next comment is I'd love to sign Clowney. I don't want him, man. First of all, the price tag. He's always like a 1-year rental, it seems like.
But if you're signing him and drafting Thibodeau, I mean, where are they all playing? I mean, I know the Jets rotate everybody, but
look at all the money you'll be allocating too, though. That's a lot of money, man.
Yeah, between Lawson, Franklin Myers, Quinnen.
Yeah, so I have no problem with London whatsoever. And Jamison Williams, the next comment is if he didn't get injured, he'd be number 1. And that's true. But how far does he fall? Like, what team takes a chance on him? I don't know.
You can make an argument that it makes a lot of sense for the Jets if they think they're a year away, and you could trade down, get some more picks, especially, if it's like a second rounder or first rounder next year, go into the teens. You still get Williams. You let him rehab for a year.
Yeah, and then
wrong with that.
And the Matt's point was he was trying to make is at 10, you'll have your pick at wide receiver. Go get your number 1 guy when you most likely have all of them available. And I completely agree.
Yep.
That's kind of same kind of mindset I want. Sometimes you can get too cute by trading back. We can keep trading back. We can keep trading back.
Yeah,
or we can just wait and
get
we can just wait and get this guy. I'd rather just get the guy this time. I don't want to get cute, man, at all.
Yep.
Then this is get Chenault, trade a 4th rounder from him. And
I would do that in a heartbeat. 4th rounder, definitely.
That's definitely a guy you can do. People are worried about what Crowder's going to do with the Bills. I genuinely don't care. Just the least of my concerns. So now the question we have prime time is we have a salary cap expert that we have up as part of our staff here. We have our resident guru. And last week it wasn't a very good performance from him because he had no numbers for us. So what's good as a guru without the numbers?
Yep.
Right?
Are you asking me? Or?
Yes.
Or are you asking me if I think he's prepared tonight? If he updated all the numbers?
Do you think
I think he's ready tonight.
Is he going to bring data? Is he going to have data? Or is he like, well, I really don't know. Rich Cimini gave it all out there.
Yeah, I was going to say, Cimini had the breakdown for DJ Reed yesterday. McDermott was official today.
Whitehead stuff's out there.
Mike White was official today. So yeah,
don't make us start researching shit because we're going to start.
I want to know how much space they have left.
Yes.
I want to know how much space they're going to have after they get rid of Van Roten and Griffin. Then also whether or not that space includes the money going to the draft picks.
We got information because if we have to start researching this and spitting out wrong information, it's not going to be good. So we got a quick question. Expectations for the 2022 season. AFC is stacked even more. Free agency looks good, but will it translate to the regular season? My expectations stay the same, man. I still think 7-8 wins, 6, 7, 8 wins, much better competitive football.
I don't like the sound of 6.
I mean,
6 doesn't.
I think our defense has to play a lot better. I think the offense can play a lot better. We'll be in more games, a lot more competitive. No more like the blowout loss to the Colts and the Patriots. Like those games can't happen this year, man.
If you only win 6 games, but you've got like another half dozen losses against legitimately good teams where you were in it in the 4th quarter, I'd sign up for that. That I'd be okay with. Yeah. Otherwise, like you said, I expect the team to be competitive this year. I expect Wilson to show some growth. I expect the defense to show a lot of growth from where they were last year, especially with Carl Lawson coming back. He added a safety, he added a corner.
And you know what else we did? Well, we added a lot of things. We removed a lot of excuses because last year it was we don't have talent, first-time head coach, first-time coordinator, rookie quarterback. We don't have this, we don't have that. A lot of those things are different now. A lot of these players have to grow. The coach has to grow. You've added a lot more talent. Less excuses, man. They've got to play better, and it's
the problem is they could play better, but the AFC also got so much better.
Right, but
what is that going to translate?
Well, we'll know, dude. But you'll know by week 7, week 8. Okay, this team's playing better. They're heading in the right direction. Or you'd be like, this is the same old shit. Defense can't tackle. They're unprepared. You'll know if they're making any kind of progress. And if not, I mean, it's gonna be. I'm not going down that path. So we'll bring on our expert to see what he says. Expert.
18.4. Have a good night.
So that's what they have right now, 18.4.
18.4.
And is that included with the rookies like that they're going to pay for the draft? Or is
that's all that's all they have, 18.4.
So why don't they cut? Why don't they start cutting guys like Griffin and all these other guys?
I don't know why they're waiting, but I don't know if they have a deadline to do that. But the Griffin, they'll get 3.5 with Griffin. I think another 3 with GVR. Do you want to cut
Rankins? You can cut
Rankins is another 5.
No. Rankins is done now. Today was the 5th year of the new league year. Rankins is locked in now.
Is he really?
Yes, sir.
Why didn't I know that?
I don't know about that. Let's see.
Do I have to?
Don't question the cap expert.
Do I have?
I don't think so.
As according to Rich Smee, the 5th day, the new league year, it's a portion of it's guaranteed now.
I've got to check this. A portion of it. How much?
Yeah, 750. They cut him right now. Their dead space is 750,000. They saved 5.4.
But they just guarantee he just hit a trigger for more guaranteed money. They wouldn't pay that if they're going to cut him.
Yeah, but if you could still save
how much more
million.
Guaranteed money?
Hey, money's money, man. We got every penny counts here. That could be a receiver.
But what receiver?
So wait, so hold on. So I'm on over the cap right now, and I see where your 18.4 is coming, but that doesn't include the money that they have to pay their rookies, which I think Cimini had at around like 13.9 or somewhere in the 14s.
Yep.
He's saying that because it's the money that you're gonna get these guys, you're gonna remove guys to replace. So, like, say you get a running back, you'll cut Ty Johnson, let's say, and that guy's salary is gonna If you keep everybody on now,
Well, not the first and second round picks. Those salaries,
right? No, but
more, especially
look at
in
it
the top
this way:
10.
if you have to sign them now, you're not cutting anybody. It's going to cost you 18 mil, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to start cutting guys because you're replacing them with the guys you have in the draft, that money's already sitting there because you have those players' salaries that you're going to hold on to pay for those guys. Right now, they're according to Over the Cap, they got 78 guys under contract. That's a lot of guys.
Well, you go to camp with 90, so or what is it?
But
93,
you still
90,
under
whatever it is.
contract.
Yeah,
They're gonna, and how many guys are they gonna sign undrafted at the end? I'm sure they have a list waiting. The numbers will all come down. He's good with the numbers. He keeps it down. But it was interesting to see what he did this year with a low first year and a high second year.
Did you see Tomlinson's? Was it Tomlinson's numbers next year, or Reed's, or one of them? It's like 17 million a year next year.
Reed's 14.2, I think, next year and the year after.
Tomlinson, I think, is 17.
Yeah,
He's
Tomlinson's
getting
17.
4.
Really? Yep.
Yeah, but that's but if you look at it, it's the same 13 million. What happens is, and it made sense why he didn't go crazy last year, because what they're doing is that they're giving a little bit this year and compiling it the next year, because he's only given like 3-year contracts, so he can get out after the third year, right? So if he did that last year, this year would be the second year. They would have to pay them, and we didn't have enough money this year. 2023, we had a ton of money.
Yep.
And that's why he went spending this year.
It's pretty crazy when you actually look at all these contracts going into 2023, how much money they could save by getting rid of almost everybody between Mosley, Lawson, Corey Davis, John Franklin Myers, even Tomlinson. If he's
2023, they can save $50 million by cutting Lawson, Davis, and Franklin Myers if they want to restructure. And Mosley, I'm sorry, Mosley.
I just can't believe
it's
that
$50 million right off the bat.
17 points.
You also got to figure out what we're doing to Quentin Williams too, though.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But Tom, that's only because he's getting. If you look at it, he's only getting 5, I think, or 4 and 5 this year, versus the 13.3
So right now, as our resident cap guru, you feel comfortable with our you feel comfortable with our salary cap situation. If we want to make a splash move, we can still do it.
The thing is, he still has to save that. I think he's gonna
don't kill my dream.
A certain amount of money. He's always going to keep at least $5 million, just in case.
Last year they had $12 million going into the season.
Yeah. Yep. Well, then again, he didn't. He got what he wanted just to start filling some.
But he also got lucky though, because he got Morgan Moses late too. So having that money around was actually handy.
Right. Exactly. We don't know who's going to get. We don't know who's going to get cut. We don't know who's going to get cut post June 1st.
Yep.
Because they save a lot of money that way. But these salaries, you got to see something. I've been looking at. There's a lot of teams with a lot of dead money. Thank God we were at 34 million at one time, dead money. Yeah. Now we're at 0. Atlanta's at $64 million dead money. They can't do nothing out of it. 64 million because of the Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. Matt Ryan's costing like 40 something, and Julio about another.
Here's a question for you: how much longer till you get your own channel? We're ready to subscribe.
This is
Afram's capped.
I'm capped. This is it.
That'll be the name of the podcast. I'm capped.
That's right.
I'm capped here. This is the 3 minutes I get. Whatever I get, it's more than.
He's gonna hang up and be like, "Oh shit, that was a good idea."
No. I see what everyone does, and it's just like they're on every other day. It's like I couldn't do that. I couldn't put it.
Me neither.
It's you guys put it out. You guys, make the time. It's just everything is time. You said it earlier. Everything is time. But
so here's a question for you. Right now, we talked about a lot of free agency, but to me, one of the things is the wide receiver position is like a thing everybody talks about, where Tyrone's not so sold on going, the 10th pick. We both kind of are. Where do you stand with that? Or do you say, you know what, they can wait the second round or do something else?
If it was me, if I don't know how much of disparity between the guys in the first round to the second round, right? You always have that one guy that's always is up here at their position, and the next guy is
It's a big
everyone else
drop-off.
is the second. So how much is a drop off from a Drake London or a Garrett Wilson to, let's say, a Dotson or a Pickens or something like that?
Yep.
We don't, we wanted a wide receiver last year, and we ended up with Elijah Moore, who was actually a first round pick, but he just kept dropping. So that was a steal.
It's a tough game to play, though.
It is a tough game, but I think they have to take. Number 10 would be the wide receiver pick. It would have to be. But it's going to come down to that fourth pick. It's just like
So where do you?
It's a hard pick because you don't know what's going to drop to you, and you don't really need an offensive lineman. I don't know why. I don't even know why they even. What are they going to do? They just started controversy because they think they're going to get Becton's going to be there. Listen. The guy had a freak accident. Let's face it. He had a freak accident. Everyone now, he's injury prone. He's injury prone. Yeah, well, I can walk and hurt my ankle. I could get hit by a car. Am I injury prone?
I understand having the abundance of riches where we could have 3 great tackles in competition. It's not a smart use of your resources.
No,
it's just not. Like, it's just, you want to address a need. Having a tackle is not a need. An edge rusher is. I could even, like, if somebody wants to sell me on corner, I wouldn't like it, but I would understand it. That overtaking a tackle, I can't do it.
Listen,
the problem is, though, if Becton does go down, I don't want to think the worst case scenario, but if he does go down, that is a huge problem to have for Zach Wilson.
But anyone can go down.
That's
Kevin.
True.
Anyone can go down. Anyone could go down.
What if Elijah Moore goes down? What if DJ Reed goes down?
Yeah, we had wide receiver. Every team has a wide receiver or somebody that goes down.
I think it would be different if Saleh didn't express some concerns at the end of the year, because clearly there's some kind of disconnect with him as far as his weight and his conditioning. Like there's something there. They wouldn't know.
Well, let's look at it this way: you have a shattered kneecap. You're going to put on weight. You can't do anything. You're going to put on weight because you're immobile at that point. The
initial diagnosis was what, 6 to 8 weeks, and you missed the entire year.
Initial. Well, guess what? Maybe it was worse than it was. We hear that all the time. We don't know.
I just don't think you could take a lineman at 4. I just don't.
No, absolutely not. The only lineman is going to be a defensive lineman. That's about it. It's got to be an edge. You need it. You need it badly. You can't rely on one side. You need to, for his system to work, he needs on both ends to attack the quarterback.
No, I completely agree.
So hey, listen, there's other guys out there. If they may choose Jermaine Johnson at that number 4 or Karlaftis, but I'm hoping Thibodeau falls because there's the Texans do need more offensive line help.
Yep.
They got to protect their quarterback, and they're rebuilding anyway. They got picks galore. But did you see? You guys talking about Cooper and all that. Because he reconstructed his contract, they're on the hook for every year now. They can't just drop him.
Yeah, but he's still young though.
Yeah, but now they pay him, I think, under 5 this year, 23 next year. They have to pay it, or they take a big hit on dead money. The following year, another 23, and the final year, $7 million they have to pay.
So he has 4 years left. I thought he had 3.
Yeah,
wow.
Well, first is if they Well, listen, for them it was a need because they have that team, and now they have the quarterback. And so they're going
to lose Landry too, so they got to give him playmakers. So it makes sense.
They lost Landry, yeah.
So
Landry's going to sit until he finds someone that loses a quarterback, and they're going to have a need. Someone's going to go down, and then he'll get his money. But and we can take wide receiver in the second round too, just to build up, just to have an extra, more depth. Because we're going to need depth.
I would double down at receiver.
Yeah, you can get Watson, you can get whoever's available, Dotson, or there's even Burks might fall down to that level because everyone's talking that there's talk that he's just falling
because he had the bad workouts.
He had the bad workout.
That'd be something.
Hey, listen, I feel sorry for Ojabo, poor guy.
Wonder where he goes now.
He could end up second, third. I grab him at the third.
He's there in the third round. Absolutely.
You grab him in third.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Listen,
I'm just fascinated to see what happens with Baker Mayfield, man. What the hell do they do with him now? He's got no home. He's got nowhere to go.
The smart move is try to get into the NFC.
Yeah.
Because he ain't going anywhere in the AFC.
Yep. I mean, too
much
team really
competition.
need him? Like what? Seattle? Like there's not really many. The Panthers said they don't want him.
Yeah.
Makes sense. They have their quarterback.
Who's left?
Yeah,
Seattle
maybe.
So, there's I feel sorry for the guys, right? They treat him like shit, but
The NFL.
I think he'll find a home. He'll find a home. It could be find a home as a backup, and work his way a competition.
Yeah, no.
But
Afram, good. Thank you for bringing information and data tonight. We were a little disappointed last week, but we appreciate this.
Why you get it? Listen, it's not like you come 100%.
Come on, man.
and last night I wasn't on, but I watched the replay.
Mm-hmm.
My God, how pessimistic can you be, Kevin?
Me?
Yeah.
About what?
About
what?
About everything. What happens if this happens? What happens?
It's always negative.
Well, I
always
like
negative.
I like to think through every scenario.
Negatively.
Like
That's what a good GM does. He prepares for.
You're
every
like the
possible
guy that
scenario.
sits in the pool in a
I
boat
gave Joe
and says, "What happens if a shark comes out of the pool and bites us?"
It's true. It's so true.
Isn't it? Why do you have to?
I gave Joe Douglas credit. That was the first thing I said in the last video I did.
It's always worst case scenario.
It's like we're happy, we're good.
I'm happy
all of a
with
sudden,
the approach, but do we still not need like premium talent? And I understand you can get it through the draft.
Dude, you just said it before. What if Becton gets hurt? What if Becton?
Exactly. Listen,
yes, because you have to think about that.
I understand.
He had how many injuries his first year?
Do you ever think what if Becton plays like a Pro Bowler? Did that ever come into your head?
And that would be a great problem to have. Let him play great, even if you drafted a tackle. You have an abundance of riches.
You still got to build up a team. He blew up this team. He's finally getting depth on this team, and he's putting some starters on there. Give him time. Oh my God! I mean, we're going. We keep going back.
What did I say all off? The approach is going to be to build through the draft.
We keep going back to let's get this guy. Let's get this guy.
I didn't even want a spending spree in free agency. I was hoping that they would get one like premium talent, like that he would have one guy that to identify and say, I'm not taking no for an answer for this guy. I thought there'd be one guy like that. I'm okay with the approach. Get through the draft.
Douglas,
see what building blocks you can find in the draft, and then you have all these answers going into next year, where hopefully you improved. You're not paying the Jets tax. You're in a better situation.
There is no more jet tax. Let's get rid of the jet tax because he has a number, and that's what he's going to pay. He's not going to pay
there
more.
Is still jet tax.
No, because whether they're doing great, he's going to keep that number. He's going to deem what each player.
He's never going to overpay.
I don't see him overpaying. He pays what he feels that it's worth for that player. He's going to build. I believe he's going to build a team that no matter when he puts that person in, it just maintains that same team no matter what. He wants to build a team so there's a plug and play. Anytime anybody goes out, he's going to have a guy come in, and there's no loss.
You don't think that approach is going to change? Like if they actually do turn the corner, let's say they do make the playoffs this year, going into next year, you don't think he's going to have a different mindset?
Effort for the kill. Yeah, I don't think so. I really don't. I think he had his opportunity this year. He had plenty of money to do it, and with giving low like everyone else, he could have gotten guys. But
they also have a ton of draft picks too, where you can say, all right,
exactly.
We're
that's right. Yeah, he's building through the draft. He's creating his own premier players,
which is what I wanted to do all offseason.
Exactly, but he's building his own premier players, right? That's right. Everyone, all these premier players started off as a rookie, so he's building his own premier players. So I'm taking up too much time.
No, this is the argument we needed. This is excellent.
I respect you. I love you.
You're gonna pay for this on the next call.
You can't be a doubting Thomas all the time. Anything could happen. Anything could happen any given time.
You're the Jets.
You guys have to be positive, and you always have in the back of your mind the Jets. Something bad is going to happen to the Jets.
Right? Look what's happened the last 11 years.
Oh my God! Repeat after me. 2022.
You're the Jets.
Yeah. No. Say it with some feeling. Say it with some feeling. No.
You're the Jets. Let's go.
Okay.
Nobody believes him.
Peace. No one believes.
Have a good night, Afram.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, man.
I'm so glad he called you out, because if I do, you think I'm attacking you. So now I'm glad.
I didn't think I was negative last night. A little upset at receiver. I still think it's going to be pick 10, and I'll be okay with that.
I'd love to see Afram with a couple of beers on him. He'd be probably hysterical.
Oof.
2022, no more damn excuses. I agree with that.
Yeah, I like that.
Joe D, in my opinion, does good in drafts. Not his first year, he didn't.
His first year, not so much. Second year looks pretty good.
Yep. All right, so the next call can be, I know what, that's why you're looking forward to this.
Uh-huh.
You bastard.
Hey, you stirred the pot with Afram.
What's up, Alex? How you doing, man?
What's up, Alex?
Oh, all right. Let's go.
Bring it, Joe.
What's up?
Oh, what's up? What's up? All right. So, first of all,
you're smiling, which means you got some shit up your sleeve.
I don't got shit up first of all, last time I came on, yeah, I was a little under the weather, but I said we got to spend our money, and I think I added up my contracts like 45 million. You guys were like, no, we don't have the money for that. And then we spent 45 million, and we still have 30 million space.
Yeah, but you signed 3 players. The Jets signed 6.
No, I signed 4 or 5, I think.
You signed like 4 or 5 of the top 20 free agents that were out there.
No. Anyways. All right. Well, my vision wasn't as clear that day. Anyways, it's clearer today. So first and foremost, whoever's talking about taking an offensive tackle in the top 10 has got to be on fucking crack. Like, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. You can go and get a quality veteran swing. Like, it doesn't have to be a top 10 pick or McDermott. Like, you can go get a quality swing tackle in free agency. Like, Billy Turner from the Packers, he started like 14 or 15 games the last 3 years for them. He's played right tackle and left tackle, played in LaFleur's system with his brother. Go pick him up. Give him 1 year, $5 million. It's fine. Like, you're good. And then, like, if one of them goes down, you have a quality guy. He's been a veteran. He's started in the league. He's going to know the system. He's not going to fuck your game plan. Yeah, he's not going to be the best tackle in the league, but he'll be competent. So I'm not taking someone top 10 for depth. Okay, secondly, I think we're freaking out over wide receiver a little bit. I would have liked to see us get a veteran. I think we could have made the Cooper move, but like we didn't. And Elijah Moore is a freaking beast. Like, he was on pace for 1,000 yards. He played great last year. He got better as the year went on. And Corey Davis, I think Corey Davis gets way too much shit. Like, I know we gave him a big contract, but before last year,
I hate you.
Tyson,
I hate you, Primetime.
Tyson,
I hate you.
Tyson.
Why do I got to deal with this shit?
No, but if before last year I told you after we signed him, Corey Davis was going to have 75 catches, 1,000 yards, and 8 touchdowns, would you have been like, all right, that's fine?
That's fine.
That was what he was on pace for. He had 500 yards, 4 touchdowns, and like 35, 40 catches in 8 games. So
how many drops is he on pace for?
He had some big drops. I agree. He had some big drops in bad spots. But I also think that's because we shoved him in a number one role.
So you're talking about 2 receivers right now.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you're gonna give me a lecture on Berrios too, right?
No, I think
what was Berrios on pace for in those last 4 games?
4,000 yards. And
Berrios is the backup. I think we need to draft one in the first 2 rounds. But I'm saying that we're freaking out over Corey Davis and Elijah Moore as if we have absolutely nothing. Like, yeah, we need to add a premier talent in the draft, either 10 or 35. But like, it's not like we're just barren there. And obviously,
we're not barren, but we're not. We need NFL standards. We need more than 2 receivers. You need 4 or 5 receivers.
Joe, did they get better or worse from last year? As of right now, I know it's only a week into free agency, but better or worse at wide receiver?
Right. I mean, right now we're worse because we haven't added anybody. But that's because we lost Crowder and we didn't get anyone back. But like, I think you can get a Keelan Cole level guy to be your backup outside guy. You have Berrios, your backup in the slot, and then you draft your other starter, either 10th or 35th, or if you want to take one 10th and take one in the 4th round, like, you have a million options.
You're saying we're discounting it. If you're taking a receiver at 10, you're making receiver a priority. So you're actually acknowledging the fact that it's a hole for us.
No, I'm saying I feel like we're acting like the sky is falling and we don't have.
The sky is not falling, but by no means perfect.
I agree.
They're one injury away from it falling, though. If you go in,
and that's why we need to get a better
receiver at 10.
We need to get that Keelan Cole kind of guy where he can come in.
So you're saying we're overreacting, but you want to get a guy at 10 and sign a veteran. So you want to add 2 receivers.
I think we're overreacting about not getting one of the top veterans, getting a number 1 wide receiver that's already a veteran. That's what I think we're overreacting about a little bit.
Wait, hold on a second. We're mean to callers for no reason. We've been nice to everybody so far. We haven't said nothing. We're in our best behavior tonight.
I got some defenders. It's all right. It's all right. Anyways, I liked what we did in free. I love what we did in free agency too. The biggest thing that stood out to me outside of Conklin, every single guy we signed has been to the Super Bowl in the last 3 or 4 years, I think. So like, that's awesome to have. Like, these are guys that came from both Reed, Tomlinson, and Uzoma went from 4-win teams that the very next year went to a Super Bowl.
Whitehead was in a Super Bowl.
And Whitehead went to a Super Bowl. 7-win team that went to a Super Bowl. It's a little different because they got Brady. But still, like, that's awesome to get. We brought in winners. I like what we added. I think in the draft, edge obviously has to be a priority at 4 or 10. Wide receiver has to be a priority at 4 or 10. I think if Thibodeau isn't there, and unless they absolutely fall in love with a receiver or an edge and they're like, this is the guy we need, then yeah, take him if that's the guy you love. But I think otherwise, like, Willis had a great pro day, and I think he's just going to keep rising. And I think we should try to trade back. Stay in the top 10 or 12, like trade back with Atlanta to 8, maybe pick up a couple second-round picks or something. You can get a lot back just to trade back a few slots if they're going up for a quarterback. Like, we went up from 6 to 2 or 6 to 3 for Darnold, and we traded 3 second-round picks. Like, I think we can get a big haul. If they don't like what's there at 4, I think they're going to look to trade back. But I really like what we did. I love Uzoma. I think he's the kind of guy where his stats don't like reflect the actual impact he has in a game, where he's a guy that could have 4 catches for 38 yards, but 3 of those catches are big third downs. One of those is a big play in the 2-minute drill. And he has the capability to take over a game. Like, I remember they played the Jags last year on Thursday night, and he like fucking dominated that game. He had, I think, 2 touchdowns, and he had that game-winning screen to set up the game-winning field goal. So, like, I loved him. I loved Conklin. I really liked what we did. I think swing tackle we definitely need to add. Wide receiver we need to add. I would cut GVR and bring back LDT with that money. I'd maybe give him $4 million instead of $3.5 million. But LDT is valuable, and a lot of people don't realize is he played right tackle for the Chiefs a little bit. So, like, obviously that's not your number one backup plan, but say your third tackle goes down, you can slide him in, and again, like, he can be competent. So I'd look to do that. And then I think in the draft, our first 3 picks absolutely got to be, in whatever order you want, it's got to be an edge, a wide receiver, and a safety. Like, that's, I think,
a safety.
It's definitely safety. Yeah.
No corner. No linebacker.
I like we have a corner. I think Hall is good. My problem with Hall was I never thought he had the elite speed, the top end speed, to where it didn't matter who the wide receiver 1 was, you can put him on him. Like, because there are some wide receivers that are just too fast for him. So I like how we added Reed, who is a little undersized, but he's really fast, and he has great ball skills, which we also lacked in the secondary. We couldn't intercept passes last year, so that'll help. And I really like I like that. So I'm fine with our corners. I mean, if they
and an improved pass rush.
If they exactly. And if they want to spend a later round pick on a guy to bring him in for competition, I would do that. What I would do at linebacker personally is I would kind of do what we did last year with the corners, where our fourth and our 5th round picks, like, we just add a couple of them, like 3 in a row, something like that, and just see what happens. Like, infuse it with young talent. You still have Hamza, you still have Jamie Sherwood, you still have Quincy Williams, and add 2 rookies and just see what other 2 guys win the job next to Mosley. I don't think you need to spend a high pick on a linebacker. I think they should trust Saleh, as he's obviously great at evaluating linebackers, and like trust him and Ulbrich and finding the guy in the later rounds. I think we just got to add the edge, the wide receiver, and the safety. And I agree with Kevin in the sense where we have a good structure. Like, we have the structure of our team. Now we got to start to add like premier studs. Like, we have like a solid base of starters, but like around your starters, if you want to be a top team, you need those elite players to take you over the top, the elite players and make game-changing plays. We don't have many of those right now. I think Michael Carter and Elijah Moore could turn into that. Maybe Quinnen Williams could turn into that, but past that, I don't really see
Vera Tucker.
Vera Tucker, well, that's more of a guard where he's a great player, but not a playmaker in the sense where
he could be elite though. He could be elite level player though.
Yeah, exactly. But I think we need to add a couple. Like, this draft is big for us, adding top end playmakers, like guys that are elite at their position, all pro caliber. But I really like where we're at. Like, I think we've done a really good job this year. I like Douglas, and the big thing with Joe Douglas that I trust is his 1st round picks have been phenomenal. Like obviously he struggled a little bit that first year in the back end of the rounds, but struggled a lot the first year in the back end. But he hit on Becton in the sense where he's a really good football player. He hit on Vera Tucker, is a really good football player. Elijah Moore, essentially a 1st round pick, 34th. Really, really good football player. So I trust him with those high picks. I don't know how well he's going to do with the later round picks. He did good with them last year. He really only hit on one the year before with Hall, but I like where we're at. The biggest thing that scares me is the talent in the AFC. Like, it's going to
Hold on. Prime time, go ahead.
I was just gonna say really quick. I'd like to say that they hit on Becton, but the problem is when you were choosing between Becton and Wirfs, right now you can't say they hit on that.
100%. At the time, I wanted Wirfs as well, but
we all did.
I mean, it's also like a little bit of recency bias with that, where their first year, no one was saying Wirfs was miles ahead of Becton. He was the better player.
If Becton this year goes back to what he was his rookie year, I don't think anybody's going to be upset.
So I don't think it's a talent thing. It's just Wirfs has been healthy for 2 years on a great team, and it looks really good. And Becton was on a bad team his first year, and his second year he was hurt. So I think that pick looks worse than it is because of the injury, which was a freak thing. But I don't know. I really like what we did. The AFC scares me, but I looked at our schedule and we got some winnable games on there.
How many wins? Tell me, how many wins this year?
I think 7 should be what we're shooting for. We got the Jags, the Lions, the Bears, the Seahawks. If we're not winning those games, that's
well. You know what we got to start doing this year? We got to start winning division games. Start beating.
And I was about to say
the Patriots,
Dolphins and Patriots are very beatable. Bills is going to be fucking tough, but you never know in the division. So if we can steal 3 divisional wins this year and we beat those 4 teams, at 7 wins.
7 wins.
There, and we play the Vikings, we play the Steelers, those are beatable teams. We have a couple we have the Packers. And
it's funny those teams look at us say those are that's a winnable game too.
I know. They're looking at that as a lot.
You did a good job, man. This was much better than last week. Thanks for calling it, man.
Well, yeah. Well, it's cleaned up this week.
We understand it. Have a good night.
All right, boys. I'll see you.
Have a good night, man.
So where is this guy? Hold on. Thank you, man. We appreciate that. A Dolphin fan who happens to love it. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Ricardo.
We talked to a lot of Dolphin fans and Bills fans. That's cool. Patriot fans don't really deal with us too much.
I don't think we have any Patriot fan friends.
No, I don't think at all. All right, we're going to go to Jared. What's up, man?
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Happy to be a part
man?
of this. Thank you so much for inviting me on. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, where are you from?
You're good, man.
So I'm from New York, born and raised, and then I moved down to South Florida about 9 years ago. Been living in Fort Lauderdale, surrounded by Miami fans for the better part about 9 years. So hanging in there.
Well, the only good thing is when the Jets go down there, a lot of Jet fans go down there too. So it's like a Jets home game. That's cool.
Whenever you guys come down to Miami and catch the game down here, if that ever happens in the future, I got the first round, second round, third round, fourth round. I got you guys
for that. So what do you think about free agency so far?
I'm happy, man. I like Laken Tomlinson a lot. We're slowly solidifying the line. We'll see what we do with center in the next year or two, but I'm really thrilled so far. I'm positive and optimistic about Makai. We'll see what happens with him.
Do you think he plays left tackle or right tackle?
It's a great question. It really depends. Yeah, of course. I think my gut's telling me we stay with Fant on the left and we move Makai to the right. But I feel like it's kind of like a coin flip, really. They'll assess it in OTAs and training camps and mini camps, and they'll probably just go from there. Yep. As far as tight ends, super stoked on that. Haven't had a relevant tight end since Keller. I remember Chris Baker when I was younger and played Doug Jolly, and you know what I mean? So I'm happy to see Conklin and Uzama going back and forth. Wide receiver, we need a little bit of work. You can see behind me, I got a big Ohio State flag. So I'm rooting we go Garrett Wilson.
Give us the Garrett Wilson breakdown.
Him and Olave. What are your thoughts?
So I like Olave. Olave is a solid consolation prize if we don't get Garrett Wilson. With that being said, if we go Garrett Wilson, I'll be stoked. Kid can catch on the tiptoes in the corner of the end zone, go for the deep ball, go for the screen pass, great at route running, solid hands. He gets winded a little quickly, but I think that it's just the fact that he's young and he's still learning the game. I really like him, so I really do hope we go with him. As far as if we're talking draft, as far as 4, I really hope we go Thibodeau. But I'm kind of playing around with the fact that we might go Sauce as well. I wouldn't be.
You'd go Wilson at 10, no problem though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'll mail that in. I'll run up to the podium, mail it in myself. Maybe Hutchinson falls. We'll see. If he falls, I mean,
he's falling. Yeah.
Nice.
Everybody likes your. They like your shirt. What's your shirt? Let's see it.
It says Wakanda.
Wu-Tang?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Wu-Tang logo, but it says Wakanda for Black Panther.
I couldn't see it. Cool. All right.
Yep.
So then you got the receivers. You covered Garrett Wilson, the tight ends, the running back position. They have Coleman. They have Michael Carter. I think they're probably all set there. If you go to defensive side of the ball, they obviously upgrade the safety position. They added a corner. What do you think about the defense?
I like the defense. I like a lot of the youth, a lot of the high confidence, high character type of personnel we got building up on the back end. Linebacker, We'll see what happens. We got Mosley's headache of a contract and a lot of unproven, questionable talent. So that's kind of the weekend, in my opinion. But we're solidifying that defensive line slowly but surely. I like Jacob Martin.
What do you know about Martin? Because I don't think I don't know much about him, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I just know he's fast. What is he? Got an edge guy or what is he?
I'll right hand to God, I'll admit right now I've watched like 2 highlight videos, so I can't really go too hard on his judgment. But what I did see, he's got a lot of speed. He can turn the bend pretty smooth, and he's got good hands. I think he's still a developmental player, so time will tell on that. But a good depth piece to add into the mix, rotate him in and out.
So here's a question for you. What are your expectations for Quinnen Williams this year?
I'm a Madden junkie, so I'll just go ahead and say that. I play Madden like crazy, and I love playing as Quinnen on the D-line. I like bull rushing a lot. If he can
Does he like bull rushing a lot?
No. He's asleep half the time or rolling around holding his knee or something like that. If he can build the confidence and continue to work on his physique and his strength and his football IQ, I think he can become that player we want him to be, the player we were hoping we'd draft.
It better be this year, man. This is a make or break year for him now. He's going to contract time.
Man. I hope so. I mean,
the thing with him, it's like it kind of reminds me of Leonard Williams a little bit, where it's like, like with Quinnen Williams, there's always like an excuse. Well, he's double teamed. That was this, it's that. Like this year, if everything goes as planned, you have Carl Lawson on the outside, you have your edge rush you draft on the other side, you have John Franklin Myers next to you. If you can't dominate, then we can't pay him. Like you just can't, right? Prime time. Like if I miss like this is like I like him, but there's too many times where big game on the line or you need a big stop, whatever else, this play's not happening. Yep. So this year he's got to, if you want to get paid like a game-breaking player, do it this year. Shows you could be that player.
Yeah, and that was exactly the problem, like you just said, with Leonard Williams, where he was either getting double teamed, he was getting the pressures, he was getting the hurries, he was making plays against the run, but he wasn't making those impact plays that would change a game. And if you want to get paid as a $15 to $20 million a year player, as one of the top 5 defensive linemen in football, this is the year for him to do it now.
Yeah. We throw the cap around and the financials around a lot, but millions are millions at the end of the day, and if these guys want to make 15, 20, 25 M's a year, they can't sleepwalk their way through it. These are big contracts.
If you want to get paid like a top 5 player in the NFL, or you want that $20 million a year contract, you got to be game-breaking talent, legitimate, where the opposing offense has to account for you at all times. You make the big sack, you make the big play, you get the stops and everything else. This is a monumental year for him, man, if he wants to stay a Jet. Yeah. I really think so.
What are you guys hoping for 4 at 10? Just without really thinking about it. What do you want to see?
Receiver, man. That's
and Thibodeau
in particular.
Thibodeau and Wilson.
See, I'm not buying the smoke on Thibodeau falling, to be honest with you.
Neither am I.
And then the people that everybody keeps mentioning at 4 is like you have your flavor today, man. It seems like everybody's guy changes every day at 4, But for me, it's like get me the edge, get me the receiver. I'm happy. Like I don't like. I know the whole cornerback thing. I just think it's. I can't do it, man.
I don't think we have to reach for Sauce. I think we can wait another year and go first round corner next year. We can get by right now with DJ Reed and Bryce Hall or Eccles or whomever. But I'm excited. Let me say that. But I want to be really excited about this team. I remember going to games when I was in my early teens with my pops, watching Santana Moss, Lavernius, Coles, Cotchery, watching those guys do magic on the field. And I want to see that again, man.
Well,
I've been waiting.
But I mean, the Jets right now, even with what they are currently constructed, with adding the 2 tight ends, I mean, it's on Zach Wilson, dude. Like he's got to take a legitimate step forward. We talked about it last night too.
Agreed.
It's like he got a lot of passes last year, and a lot of people did. The coach did, the coordinator did, everybody, injuries and rookie and all this other shit. We've eliminated a lot of excuses now. The offensive line is going to be better. You're going to be able to run the football. You have your safety valves. You have big targets. You're going to have another receiver. Zach Wilson has to maximize his opportunity and play better. Now, he doesn't have to be a top 10 quarterback, but he's got to be like, all right, we got something here. We all hope he's something, but he only showed us a glimpse last year. 4 games of being like, all right, this kid has some potential here. But he's got to make it to the level, like at the end of this year, we're like, we have our quarterback. We know we have our quarterback. Year 3, we make a big splash. If we go into next year being like, we hope he's our guy.
We did this song and dance with Darnold already. I don't want to do it again.
You
know what I mean? I really don't want to do it again. But let me let you guys go. Handle your next callers. Thank you guys for bringing me on. I really appreciate it. One thing I want to say real quick is thank you guys for making this community. Like I mentioned, I'm down here. I don't really have many Jets fans. My office is full of Steelers fans to the brim. So I'm a sole Jets fan by myself, and I tune into you guys every week, and I just get to kind of hone in a little bit and get some share my passion and vent, if you will, with other Jets fans. So thank you guys for creating this.
Appreciate
Really
that.
appreciate it.
We appreciate it, man. Have a great night.
Thank you. You
Have a
too.
good night, dude. Appreciate
Great
that.
call, man. Let's see. Go to a couple comments real quick. Don't overthink it. If Thibodeau is there, run to the podium. Pass rusher is so important. I mean, we've all seen it, man. You see the NFL now. It's all about pass rushers, quarterbacks, and receivers.
Yep.
That's what the game's become right now. Look at the contracts going out right now.
Especially with all the quarterbacks in the AFC, we're developing ours right now. So what's the best way to counter that? Have a great pass rush.
Give him as many options as possible. Eliminate every excuse possible, and then just know, see what you got. A Jets fan in Ohio. All right. We're gonna go to the other Tyrone. We got another Tyrone here. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Chilling. I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped. I didn't know I was gonna get on so quickly.
Where are you from?
I'm from Brooklyn, New York, originally. Been a Jet fan for a long time, and it's a coincidence that I got on right after Jared. I'm in Fort Lauderdale as well.
Nice.
A huge Jet fan, and I love the show. It's my favorite show on YouTube, man.
Oh, we appreciate that, man. So first of all, what do you think about free agency? Are you encouraged? You like the direction the team is going?
I like it. It's like all the other years of the free agency, man. The Jets are not going to make that huge splash. It's really decent, really methodical. I like the building of the offensive line. I just wanted to get at you guys and really thank you guys for giving a platform for us Jets fans to really, us true Jet fans to really watch and enjoy. But really, I wanted to talk about the hype at 10, the wide receiver at 10. What is good with that, man? Why? Why
Wait,
at 10?
You don't want a receiver at 10?
You don't want a receiver at 10?
No way.
No way?
No way at 10. I've been wanting to call in. I'm a super introvert, but I definitely wanted to call in and talk about the 10. I don't know if you guys are getting paid to push this wide receiver at 10.
We're not getting paid at all, man. We're not getting paid for that. We're not getting paid at all.
So is there just somebody else that you really like that you think is going to be there, or like what's your plan?
No, man. I'm feeling you got to go. I feel like 4 is definitely has to go defense. We have to go defense. We have to go edge.
Okay.
At 10, at 10, let's go cornerback. Let's go Sauce, or let's go Hamilton. I know you guys don't like Hamilton, but
I like Hamilton. I like Hamilton, but explain to me why you don't think wide receivers a need in the first round.
Okay. Before I called, I made sure I had to have that info. I've been a Jet for a while, and I have a couple of things before you guys kick me off. I have a couple of things to talk about, but 10 is just really irking me. 10. So the past 10 years, right? Starting in 2012, the list of wide receivers in the top 10: Justin Blackman, trash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tavon Austin, bust. Sammy Watkins, Mike Evans. I'm sorry. So 2012 is Justin Blackman. 2013, Tavon Austin. 2014, Sammy Watkins and Mike Evans. Mike Evans They hit with that one.
Mm-hmm.
2015, Amari Cooper and Kevin White. Kevin White bust because of injury, but Amari Cooper, somebody just got him for a 6th rounder.
Amari Cooper's a very good receiver, man.
No, he is. I wanted the Jets to get him, no doubt, like every other Jet. 2016, there was no top 10 wide receiver. 2017 at 5 is Corey Davis. That's our guy. And then Mike Williams, he's good.
Yep.
But they picked him at 7. 2018, 2019, 2020, no wide receivers was picked in the top 10. Now I think because of us Jets fans not having a great wide receiver since Santana Moss, Navernius Coles, and probably Keyshawn Johnson, we saw 2021's draft. Jamar Chase got picked in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Waddle and Devontae Smith. He's the jury's still out on him.
He's not. His quarterback is. Devontae Smith is legit, dude.
He's legit. But Are any of them Drake London?
Yeah, but the other thing though that you're not kind of touching on is the college game has changed dramatically over the last 5 or 6 years as well, though, where receivers now more than ever coming in more prepared than the guys in the past. Secondly, I'm not worried about all the failures in the past. You can't be scared to draft guys. You got to have faith in your front office that can pinpoint the guy they want. If they got Elijah Moore, you're happy with that. Like, I'm not gonna not take a receiver at 10 because the last 10 drafts, 7 guys didn't pan out. Look how many first round corners have bombed out. You want to go corner? I can list you we've seen the corners. We've had them. D. Milner. How many corners don't work out?
And what if the Bengals had that approach last year? What if they had that approach last year?
Yeah, what if the Bengals didn't take Jamar Chase last year? Then what? That changed their whole franchise.
I think year by year you just got to look at it. If there's
Jalen Waddle, that's the Dolphins' offense.
Yeah. If you scout a guy and you think he's a legitimate number one, I don't care if it's at 10.
But is Garrett Wilson and this guy London a true number one? I think the wide receiver class is so weak that we're going. It kind of reminds me of like when the Jets traded up to 5 to get Sanchez. There wasn't really a good quarterback in that draft class, and so whatever we had available, they just traded up.
But see, the question is, but you're not drafting whatever you draft at 10. You're not drafting him to be a number one receiver this year because you already have other receivers on a team. You're hoping a year from now he becomes like a next level playmaker. If you draft a kid at 10 now and he gives you 45, 50 catches and does some good things, you're happy with that. And then he grows because not everybody's going to be Chase, but you got to get proven playmakers for your quarterback. And that's how you start it. Like,
understood. But like in the second round, the draft is so deep in the second round. We got Dotson. He might go second round, right? Dotson, Pickens. Nobody's talking about Michi. Nobody's talking about Sky Moore. Christian Watson's going to fall. Then
I got a question for you then. So then what's the drop off from the top corners to the second level corners? Is it a deep corner class?
No, it isn't. So that's why I said
that's your talking point, man. That should be your selling point, where the drop off from the top couple corners to the next level is bad, and that's what you can say that. But
that is true. That is true. But other than that, 10 wide receiver at 10, I wouldn't be mad if we picked a London or a Wilson. We do need to get weapons for Zach.
So now you wouldn't be mad. You were just mad 10 minutes ago.
I wouldn't be mad because it's a
You're
weapon.
But like Tyrone, you're like the both Tyrones out the same waffle.
I'm definitely standing on defense. I want to double dip on defense, and on the second round, I feel that the wide receivers, that the draft class is so deep that the wide receivers in the second round, a la Moore, could be just as good as a first rounder. I wanted to talk about
just really quick. If you feel good about taking a receiver in round 2, which I'd be fine with, like, is that it, or are you still going to try to make a move, whether it's a trade, signing a veteran that's out there? Like, you wouldn't just go into the season with that second round pick plus more.
No. I definitely think Joe Douglas is going to sign a couple of wide receivers, probably one or two, and then we'll probably pick 1 or 2 up in the draft, probably later rounds. I don't think they'll go 10. I think they're gonna go with some defense for the first 2 picks. But I wanted to talk about that, and just one more thing.
Okay.
Why isn't any Jet fan talking about drafting not a wide receiver, a running back, specifically Breece Hall or Kenneth Walker III?
In what round?
With one of our early
take him in round 2?
With 35 or 38. Ooh, the hype was so huge on picking McBride, a tight end. And now that we got 2, good starting tight ends, this is going to be great. Why isn't anybody talking about running back? We've
talked about running backs, but everybody's kind of saying after the second round, not in the first 2 rounds. We have higher needs.
I think the thought is that Michael Carter is going to be probably your number 1 back, and if you're bringing Coleman back,
he's good. He's good, no doubt. But do you guys feel comfortable with Michael Carter being a feature back? Last year, he had 4 touchdowns.
Well, he also got hurt, but also the offensive line sucked, and the offense sucked too. I think he's got he catches the ball at backfield. He's very explosive. He drags defenders. And I don't think the Jets' offense features a running back. I think they're going to split a lot of carries too.
And I feel good with him being like a 60-40 guy with somebody else, like him being the lead guy, 60% of the carries. You bring in somebody else, maybe a little bit better than Tevin Coleman, or you draft somebody round 3, round 4. I'd be okay with that.
Why not? Why not? Why is anybody talking about Brees? You think about the last, let's say
what's a big? You're saying him in the second round. We just went through the biggest needs on the team. If you're going to go defense on the first 2, say if you go pass rusher and receiver in the first round, you still need a corner and you want a safety. You said there's your picks. Running back's just not at the highest priority right now.
I don't understand. If we want defense, we're going to play the 12 personnel. You got your two tight ends. Right. You got Corey Davis. You're right. You got Corey Davis. You got Maulers. We're building up the line. You got who's on the other side? Moore. You're not going to bench Moore and Corey Davis for this new. You're not going to put London over.
So you're not going to always go 2 receiver sets, man. You're going to go 3 receiver. You need.
Yeah, of course, but that's going to be what? How much percent? 20, 30%?
Right now, give me your 4 biggest positions of need on this team. Just 4 positions.
Four, that's going to be cornerback, totally. Edge.
Right.
Running back. And I would say wide receiver at 4.
You're out of your mind. There's no way running back is your top 4 need on this team right now.
You guys were just talking.
You didn't say linebacker. Running back is more of a need. Linebacker will be fine.
Will be fine based on what?
You guys were talking about. Oh man, we're one injury away from receiver from being a bad football team or being in trouble. If Michael Carter gets injured, who's going to be the running back? Who's running?
Yeah, but the thing is that you still got running backs. You can get guys later on, the 3rd and 4th round. You can get them later. But your first 2 rounds is
every year. There's a James Robinson or somebody undrafted that runs for 1,000 yards, or a guy that's picked up off the street that's able to. You can have a backfield by committee approach.
Yep.
Understood. I'm just saying, like the second round running back. I'm looking at it as being like the sweet spot. You're talking about Jonathan Taylor. You're talking about Joe Mixon. You're talking about Dalvin Cook.
But to me, it's like a luxury pick. You have Michael Carter, like a luxury pick to me.
Yeah, it wouldn't even be for like our featured back. I mean, Carter's probably going to be your number 1 or at least your 1A.
Yeah, I like him, but I'm looking at him like a change of pace 3rd down back. I don't see him as being like one of those featured. He's good, but like I don't see what you guys see in him. He had 639 yards, 4 touchdowns. When we get to the red zone, you're gonna hand it off to a 5'7". You're gonna hand it off to a 5'7" running back to pound the ball in.
But then you can get a running back in a later round. You can get that bruising back, or even sign a Melvin Gordon or somebody else to be your bruising. We can do all kinds of things instead of using it. That's like a premium resource you want to use in a draft for a running back. I think we have bigger needs, man. I respect your take. I just think we have bigger needs.
I understand. You said, but everybody was talking about McBride. Is McBride a huge need?
Well, I think that was before they signed.
That was before they signed 2 tight ends.
Yeah.
But what's more important, tight end or running back?
For a long period of time. For a long period of time, the tight end was a huge hole in the Jets' offense. We didn't have any. Nobody can block consistently and catch footballs at all. That's your safety valve for your quarterback. We didn't have one since Keller. It's been years. That was an enormous hole.
Understood. But okay, cool. Cool.
Thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks, you guys.
Good talking to you, man.
That was fun, though. It was interesting takes for sure.
I don't think it's a crazy take. I think
running back in the second round, man.
Yeah, linebacker, corner, safety, receiver, even maybe a line edge. Like there's so many other needs that.
If you're listing your top 4 needs on a team, running back's not one of them. It's just not, man. I put linebacker, corner, edge, receiver.
And I would still take a running back in this draft. It's not in round 2.
Yeah, no, me neither. All right. It's just, I don't know. It's been a weird show, man. We had internet connection problems, just whatever. So thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. If anything crazy happens, we'll cover it. If not, we'll talk to you guys next Monday.
Have a good night.